Happy Tuesday, everybody. Today we're looking at graphs, so we're going to start by looking at bar graphs. So one thing I want you guys to remember for bar graphs is always write the totals next to each bar first. That is going to help you better analyze the graph. So always write the totals next to each bar first. That way, when you get on a roll of analyzing your answer choices, you don't have to slow down for the totals. So for example, here's 100, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines, okay? So, and it goes from 100 to 200. So 100 divided by 5 is 20, right? So each of these little lines represents 20. So this first graph is bar is gonna be at 140. Then we have 100, 80, 110, 240, and 210. So that'll help you with your analysis, okay? All right, so the next part that I want to go over is dot plots, okay? So for dot plots, we have a few things that we look at. So the first thing is going to be the range, which is also called the spread. Okay, so in class we talked about spreading your arms and seeing how far they go, right? So you're going to take the maximum or the largest number, and you're going to subtract the minimum or the smallest number. Right, so for example, the range here, and it's the smallest data point, okay? So the largest number is 4, the smallest is 0. But if 0 was still here and these two dots weren't here, it would be 4 minus 1. Okay, just because 0 is on the number line, we're talking about the smallest data point. So range here would be 4 minus 0 is 4. All right, the next part is the median, which is the middle, okay? And to find the middle, you're going to just start crossing them off one by one dot at a time. All right, so it's going to be right here between the two, but they're both a value of 2. So on this one, our median is 2, okay? And then we have the other one for dot plots is mode. So mode is the one that occurs most often. So the one with the most dots. So mode here is going to be 2, okay? So I also want to add in here a box plot, okay? So here, say we have a box plot. Okay, there. All right, so for a box plot, we have here is our minimum, right? And so minimum is the smallest number. Here is the maximum. Maximum is the largest number, right? And then here is Q1 or quartile 1. Here is Q3, quartile 3. And the reason we call them quartiles is because each section has 25% of the data. Okay. And then here in the middle is again the median. All right. So quartile 1, quartile 2, and then they have interquartile range is going to be, or it's called the IQR. It's the box, right? So it's going to be quartile 3 minus quartile 1. All right. So that's a good review for you on box plots. And then the next graph that I want to talk about is circle graphs, okay? So the important thing to know about circle graphs is that the entire circle, so the circle graph, equals up to 100%, okay? So if you're given a graph with percents, they're all going to add up to 100. So often you're either trying to find an amount or a percent, okay? So to find an amount, well, here, sorry, let me make it more generic. All right, and then I can do a specific example. So to find a slice or information about a slice, right, you're going to do part over whole equals percent over 100, okay? So let's say that, so we're talking about a bag of candies, and let's say that there's, I don't know, 100 candies in the bag. So we're going to use the proportion. Let's say they want to know how many green, okay? So if we're looking at how many green candies, I'm going to do percent over 100 equals x over 100, right? So that would be 28 because they're equal. So this is how many green, right? Okay, so what if they said that there were, what if they asked how many total? If blue is 80 candies, okay? So I would go, if we are given, this is the part, right? That's a slice. So my slice or my part will go up here. And then we're saying we don't know how many candies because now we're not talking about this situation anymore, right? I would still do percent over 100. So 20x equals 800 divided by 20. 20x is 40, right? So that's how we would find either the part or the total, all right? And every once in a while you have to find the percent. So, okay, so now that we've finished our notes, I want you guys to go down. You have just, let me see, just 5 questions to answer today. And then you're going to put them in Go Formative, and you can check to see that your answers are correct for a grade or not. All right, so we can look together at some of these. The first one says 340 7th graders, okay? So guys, I was a little confused the first time I read this. So we're talking about 7th graders, and there's 340 of them. At first I thought it said 347, and I couldn't get the right answer, okay? So they were asked what they most prefer to do on a Friday night. How many more students prefer going to the movies than playing games? Okay, so I know a lot of you guys are like, okay, I have to set up a proportion, find how many students want to go to the movies and how many want to play games, because it's asking how many more. So when it says that, we know we're going to end up subtracting the two amounts, right? So I need to know how many like the movies and how many like playing games. Well, here's what I suggest. Go ahead and find out the percentage of more now, right? Okay, so movies is 35 minus games is 24, right? So we have 9% more prefer going to the movies. But it says how many students. So now we need to find the amount. So you need to use your part over total proportion, right? So we know percent goes here over 100. And then we have the total, right? We were given the total, but we don't know how many students. So that's going to be the part. So go ahead and press pause and solve your cross product. Okay, so the next question is talking about this dot plot, but it's using a lot of percentages, so we're going to have to pay attention to that. All right, it says the dot plot shows the amount of money spent on by the first 11 customers to visit a souvenir shop at the zoo. Which of the following is true? So first one, it says approximately or about 50% of the customers spent more than $15. Okay, so about 45% of the 11 customers spent more than 15. So here's 15, more than would be 20, 25, or 30. So there's 1, 2, 3 that spent more than 15 out of 11. So let's see if that equals to 45%, right? So I have 11x is 300, divide by 11, divide by 11. Do your division, x is 27%. Okay, so that does not match 45, so that's not right, okay? Let's see, exactly 20%. I'm going to skip down to there because I know how to do 20% a lot easier than 18. So 20% of the customers spent 15, so exactly 15. So 1, 2, 3. Well, 3 out of 11, we already know. Wow, well, we already calculated that. So x is 27%. Is that exactly equal to 20%? No. Okay. Awesome. So now we're down to B and C. B says about 18% of the customers spent less than $15 compared to those that spent more than 15. Okay, that's a comparison. I don't know, that sounds hard. I'm going to try the next one. About 50% more customers spent less than $20 compared to those that spent more than $20. Okay, so let's look at less than 20. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 out of 11 students spent that, and then more than 20. So 1. About 50% more of the students spent less than 20. Well, that looks like more than 15% or 50%. So let's try this one. About 18% more of the customers spent less than 20 to 15. Okay, less than 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 11 versus more than 15. 1, 2, 3. So you would need to find out if that's 18% more. Okay, so 5 minus 3 is 2. Is 2 over 11 equal to 18 over 100? That's what you're going to want to check. All right, guys, finish the last 3. Put your answers in Go Formative.